Okay, hello friends, welcome to BISP Solutions, and today's topic is UAT test case scenario, UAT script, test case designs. This is the most important topic, and myself Ashwin and BISP Solutions is a tech company provide technological solutions across the world. Now our day 19, today's topic of discussion is UAT test case script. Now in our last sessions we have seen that how to create the documents, how to create different types of documents, as is document, to be document, then requirement, trace matrix, right, traceable matrix. So all these documents are there. Now once you have done everything, right, like coding, scripting and designing related everything, now the main thing is that unit testing, how to conduct the unit testing, or we can say testing phase or testing mode, and you have to take the UAT also, user acceptance testing. So how to do this? So for this, first we will just note down on a paper that what are the test scenarios. First thing, that means in which scenarios we are going to conduct the test. Then we will take the test case, right, test case, and then we will write the UAT script. Actually it's a PPT. The above two lines, like test scenario, test cases, they are just like Excel sheet, and the third UAT script is a PPT. Now see here, testing is not just a QA responsibility. BA play a crucial role in creating test cases, validating UAT outcomes, acting as a bridge between client and the quality assurance. Now see what happens. Since the information taking from the client, that is done by business analyst. Okay, now business analyst is responsible, and he also knows very well what they want exactly. So the same he has written in the business BRD, same he has written in the FRD, then high level design document, then the solution architecture design document, then as is and to be document, and then what next, use case and user story document, and then RTM, requirement traceability matrix. Okay, so he knows very well exactly what they want. Similarly, when the technical team informs the business analyst that okay, we have completed everything and now we are ready to test, we have already done testing from our side now, so it's the time for BA to test. So first of all, what BA will do, business analyst, he will create first test cases. For example, let's take the example of purchase order. Now in this purchase order, whenever the purchase order is created, so the purchase order should be created by these roles. This is one point. Let me open the notepad, right? So number one, PO will be created by three roles. Now he will mention the role also, right? A, B, C, whichever, right? Like sales rep, sales supervisor, field worker, anyone, right? Then what fields are demanded by sales rep, by stakeholder? Are they included in the form? Okay, then create a sales order, create a PO. Okay, then check for approval, apply all conditions. test with all conditions. Right? So these are the things that the business analyst has to mention. Then test with all conditions. For example, with the role sales rep, create a sales order. Then first create a sales order less than purchase order with less than what we say 10,000, right? Then create a purchase order with greater than 20,000. Then create a purchase order with maximum 50,000. Then create a purchase order where the item is not in the stock. Then see what will happen. So everything the business analyst has to consider. So that is why here it is written, just a second, create test cases, all test cases, then validate UAT outcomes. What was the outcome? What are the outcomes on that? Then act like a bridge between QA and the client, right? So before conducting all the test and the UAT, the BA, the business analyst, first have a meeting with the stakeholder and the client, and then shows him that these are the things that we are going to test and we are going to show you. Okay, I will show an Excel sheet also. Now secondly, what are they? Now test scenario. What are these test scenario? In our previous slide you can see here test scenario, test case and UAT script. So what are these? Definition. Now test scenario means high level description of what needs to be tested. Just now I explained to you on a notepad what needs to be. Test scenario means high level description of what needs to be tested. Create and approve a purchase order. That is what I explained to you just now. High level description of what needs to be tested, that is called the test scenario. Now test case. Test case means step-by-step instructions to execute a scenario. Include input, expected result and actual result. Step 1, for example, step 1, log in as purchase procurement head. Now here role comes, right? So that is what I just explained you, that here include test with all conditions. Here PO will be created by 3 roles like purchase rep, sales supervisor, field worker, anyone. So here also it is shown test cases. So test case means test with all the roles. UAT script. Now what is this UAT script? A complete script used during user acceptance testing, written in business friendly language, often includes screenshots, notes and test data reviewed and executed by business user. Now see, for example, if I ask you, if I tells you that open a purchase order, create a purchase order with procurement head role, right? Now if you are good in technology understanding, then you can immediately do that. But those people, what about those people, those who are not good enough in technology aspect? They are just the clerks and they are doing the clerical job. So in that case you have to add the snapshot of the forms, right? It is just like take an example. Whenever we purchase any refrigerator or a washing machine, you will get a manual, but also with that manual you will see in that manual somewhere the designs, the images are also stored there or printed in that manual. Or if you see the game of any child, you will see a menu. In that manual you will find the images are also there. So here you will see UAT script means a complete script used during the user acceptance. We will provide a UAT script in the format of PPT, and then I will say that okay, in the first slide the login page is given, so open that login page and enter your credentials, and when the credentials are successfully logged in, then you will see the dashboard page. So immediately that dashboard image should be there in the PPT also. Okay, then I will then inside that one image will also be added where the drop down of the menu bar, is visible. So by viewing that image, the other user acceptance, or sorry, the user of the employee of the client company, they will also do the same thing. So in this way, step by step, we have to write down a script completely, right? And then with the help of that script, they can create a purchase order. So we have to educate them, we have to give them the training of how to create a purchase order using these roles. First, the for very first test case is open purchase order or create a purchase order with all these roles first, or we can say use one role only and complete the purchase order from beginning to end. Then open with another user credentials, and then prepare a purchase order and go through the complete process from beginning to end, that is purchase order creation to end point, right? Invoice and payment given. Okay, so in this way UAT is conducted. So the test case script is nothing but just a PPT containing image. Okay, let me give you the best example. Just give me a second, 1 minute. Yes, again I am back. Okay, now see here, this is a Lego toy. It is very common and popular in kids. These are just some pieces of plastics, and different items can be made here, right? Lego. So you can see here in a manual, look at this, in a manual book everything is given, and by watching these images a child of like 10-year-old child can easily create some toys like this, right? So this is how, this is also one type of script, right? But here it contains the images, that's it. So in this way, similarly, let me open one more PPT also. Yes, PPT here, unit test script. Yeah, here it is. Here it is, look at this, same thing is here. This is called, this is just an example I am having right now, this PPT only. So user unit test script, this is for HR portal. Now if you see here, we have to show the credentials. Once you enter the credential, if the credentials are successfully accepted, then you will see this is the administrator dashboard, and then you have to enter, this is employee dashboard, and then you will see this is managers dashboard. After that, click on projects, you can see here the projects. Okay, now these are all the inputs that you have to show. So this is called user acceptance script, acceptance testing script, right? UAT script. So a whether it is okay, now, so this is called, so unit test scenario means, test scenario means create and approve a purchase order. Test case means step by step whatever we need to perform. UAT script means from beginning to end, this PPT will be in front of the client employee, and then everything will be in front of them, and by viewing that PPT, they will just follow the steps, correct? Now test scenario is done, test case is done, UAT script is done. Now let's come to the another point, structure of test case. Test case template column. Now what are the templates columns? As I told you, it's a Excel sheet. Okay, so let me open the Excel sheet also. For example, unit test. Okay, look at this. I will explain you this also, but first have a look on this first. Now you can see here the structure of a test case. Test case template columns. First of all, test case ID. So there should be a test case ID. See, in when you will work on a project or a corporate project, for every task there is an ID, because with the help of ID you can identify each and everything. Okay, so there should be a test case ID, then a test case scenario. What is being tested, right? What is being tested? Then preconditions. What are the preconditions? Any setup or required data. Suppose we are creating a PO, that means purchase order, vendor data, items data, chart of accounts, employee data. So all these things are required, right? These are the preconditions. Any setup or required data. Steps to execute each user action. Click, select, submit. Then the test data. You will see here sample values used in test. You need to have a test data also. Expected results. What should happen? Actual result, what happened during test. Status, either pass or fail, and the remarks, additional notes, screenshots, everything. Now let's come to the Excel sheet. Look at this. Now I am going to explain you exactly what it is. Now in the first column you will see the serial number, then test ID. Okay, on which role you have to create the purchase order. Right now here there is a example project, right? On which role you have to create the project. So here you will see the HR role, then the module name. What is the module name? Project. Okay, test cases, add new project. This is the test cases. Test script PPT, slide 8 dedicated for this test scenario. Now let's check slide 8. Look at this list of projects. Look at this list of projects, add project, right? And you can see the relation between it, correlation. Look at this. Slide 8 is dedicated for this test scenario. Enter all required data for a project and see whether project added successfully or not. Okay, and then this will be the link. What is expected? If project added successfully, then success message will be displayed. This is expected, and render project list. What was the actual? Okay, what was the actual? Successfully added new project. Okay, what was the test result? Pass, fail, pending. Right now it is a pass. Who tested it? Okay, this person tested it. What error is showing? Nothing. Is image required? No. File used in testing? No. Cloud location of the error file? No, nothing. Test date, this. And in this way only one test case done. Now Second, HR project details. Now HR project details, okay, again it can be done, it will be done with the HR role. After that, module name, that is the project. The test cases, that is show added projects detail, right? Then you can see here slide 11 is dedicated for this test case. So slide 11, where is that slide 11? Let's see. Look at this, edit project, right? So this complete slide is dedicated for this, right? And in project list, by clicking on project name, see whether project details displayed or not. Okay, this is the action to be taken, this is the link, and then expected result. Clicking on the project name should display the project detail. It shows all required details of the project. Okay, pass, yes, pass. What error showing? None. And then test date was 21st of April. Okay. Now similarly, HR project edit. This is add, this is view, this is edit. That means each and every aspect should be tested, otherwise it will not be a successful testing, right? So standard testing procedure you have to follow. What we are testing, how we are testing, and what would be the result. Look at this, again same thing, what is being tested, and to test them any previous data is required or not, and once it is tested, what will be the expected result, what will be the actual result, and steps to execute. Exactly what are the steps to execute. All this comes in the test case scenario. Okay, the Excel sheet. After that, so structure of test case, and one script will also be there, test case script. Okay, now see here, I am showing you one example, right? Just 1 second. Yes, now see here, I am giving you one sample test case, NetSuite sales order flow. Okay, now in this what happens, test case scenario is create and approve the sales order greater than rupees 50,000. So what will happen? First of all, this test case will be having some ID. Now the ID, by the naming, while you name the ID, you have to use very carefully the what naming conventions you are using. TC, test case underscore sales order underscore 001. Now scenario, high value sales orders approval. Okay, fine. Preconditions, customer and item already exist. One more thing is there, chart of accounts. but chart of accounts will not be used at this point, but yeah, it will be required, because immediately as soon as the sales order is created, in the back end one entry will be created. So in that case it will be required, right? After that, these are the preconditions, that customer and item and chart of accounts and subsidiary, right? Subsidiary also required, because whatever the customer is there, the subsidiary is also required. Okay, now next steps: login, create SO, enter SO and greater than 50,000 amount, enter the amount greater than 50,000 rupees, and then fourth is submit. Now see here, the steps are here. Now test data item, this is the test data item, Dell laptop, quantity 2 and rate is 25k, because we have to test with greater than 50,000 rupees. So this is the test data. Then expected result, SO should be marked as pending approval. Actual result matched expected, okay. Status pass, remark approval email triggered. Now whatever I have shown you just now relate this everything with this. First of all, test ID, what will be the role, what will be the module name, then the test case, what will be the test case, then action to be taken, then navigation, expected result, actual result, and then the pass, tested by, what error showing. All these you can add n number of columns, but only it should be logical. Now if you see, now look at this. So UAT test case script is something like this. Now what is the next? Now see here, if I show you this, UAT script includes, now UAT script includes what? Module name, scenario name, objective, steps with screenshots, test data, pass fail status, tested by, date of test. Okay. Now see here, UAT script. Now UAT script structure and purpose. Now we are talking about the, see, we have seen the Excel sheet, now it is clear to you. Now what about the UAT test case script? This is the test script. Now I will show you exactly what it is required here. Just a second. Look at this, UAT script structure and purpose. Now this script includes module name, scenario name, objective, steps with screenshots, test data, okay. Pass fail status we have written in the unit test case script, right? Pass fail status is done, right, in the test case, tested by, done, okay. Actually these things are written in the Excel sheet. So what you need to do, only test the case, just a second, this test data you have to keep, steps of screenshot, okay, objective is this, and scenario remaining, this module scenario and this test data, only these things will be done, okay. Now Look at this. In this complete test case script, did you see any type of Excel sheet or in data? Only screens are visible to you, right? And then once it is done, because what happens when the employees are testing, so they have to keep these things in mind. Okay. Now UAT script example. I am showing you the UAT script example. UAT script example, for example, module purchase to procure, purchase to pay, scenario, create PO, generate vendor bill. Okay. Then you will see the objective, ensure proper flow from purchase order to bill. Right. Again I am explaining you UAT test script example. Now in this first PPT you have to show that these are the modules, purchase to procure, scenario, why these things to be on what scenarios this is going to be tested, and then ensure proper workflow from PO to bill, and then create PO, receive item, generate vendor bill, right? Validate amount, tax, approvals, all these things. Now you will see generate vendor bill and validate. So these are the steps. Let me show you once more time. Now look at this. Leave detail. Okay. Now you will see the same thing. Test ID, rules. Then you will go to here. Look at this. Okay. So you will see here create PO, receive them, right? And now let's come here down. Test. Okay. Now BA responsibility in testing phase. Now what is the BA responsibility in testing phase? The BA responsibility in testing phase is create and review test cases with QA team, right? Create and review the test cases with the QA team. First the test cases and unit testing is everything done with the QA team. Then only I will show it to manager. Okay. So in this way the QA team, first QA team will test this, and once they said okay, then I will show it to manager or the client person, right? So validate UAT script with business teams. Okay. Okay. So is it clear? Create and review test cases with QA team, validate UAT script with business team, and support test execution sessions, track test case status, pass or fail, right? We have also done the same thing. Report defects and map to requirements, RTM, requirement traceability matrix. After that, report facilities sign off process for user. Facilitate sign off process for user. That means everyone must have his own credentials. Right? Facilitate sign off process from users. because whatever we have explained them, so some people might require another session to explain. So that is why these are the techniques that take the sign off process of the user. Okay, take the sign of give the sign off facility to the user and take all unnecessary data. Okay, now let's come here, summary. Now in the summary type you will see test scenario, what to test, test case, steps, data and expected results. Okay, and UAT script. What is UAT script? Business friendly flow with sign off. Okay, BA ensures business needs are the totally tested. So total equal to tools equal to Excel, Google Sheets, Jira, TestRail. All these are different types of tools. Only one tool will be used, but for example we have to study different tools. Okay, then after that, now let's have a quick recap on practical part. Just a second, give me a second. Yes, now I am going to show you all these things step by step. Now see here, first of all UAT test cases. These are the test cases. Look at this. Purchase order, this is a test UAT test case, purchase order creation. Then test case, these are the test case. Then test scenarios. Test scenarios means all the steps that you are going to perform, right? Then preconditions, what are the preconditions of this? Okay, and then what are the steps to execute? You have to also write down the steps of executions, and then you will get the test data. So you have to have the test data. Now test data, it is not necessary that it should be from the client side only. You can create any arbitrary test data randomly. Okay, after that expected is what is the test result, right? Actual result. First of all test the data, and then what is the expected results. Okay, actual result also will be there, then the status, and then the remarks. Okay, so let's see here. Same thing is here. First of all serial number. Now see, look at from this, right? Then the test ID, then the role, from which role we are going to test, then the user module, whatever the module is, like name, right? So these are the module names. Then the test cases will be there. What are the test cases? Then you will see the test script PPT. In that PPT you have already put the snapshots. Then what actions to be taken. Okay, then what will be your URL, then the expected result, then the actual results, test results, what is the test status, that is pass. So all these things are there. Okay, so this is how the Excel sheet is created. Now based on the same thing, we have created this test case script, right? Now this test case script is created like this way. Just a second. Now look at this. These are the scripts, or we can say these are the snapshots, series of snapshots that you have to follow. Okay. Now then you will see similar another example like sales order with greater than 50,000, right? So expected result should be this, then the actual result should be this. Okay, now you have to create one sales order. Take any other scenario, then you will see here what are the, just a second, what is the scenario, what is the preconditions, then what are the steps to follow, then test data. Okay, now you will see the sample example. In sample example, there could be any field is missing. In that case, you can add that missing information, or sorry, the missing field also. So here also test case ID, scenario, preconditions, steps, test data, expected results, actual results, status, and status and remark. Okay, remarks. Now what you will do here, you will just write down all these in the format of Excel first, and then you can move ahead. And what is the UAT script? I have just shown you the PPT that we are watching, that is called UAT script. This is called UAT script. Okay, now let's move ahead. Okay, let's come here again. So guys, today we have learned how to create a test case, UAT script, test scenarios, and test case design. Okay, and tomorrow we are going to see some another topic, that is change request. Okay, change request document. Now you see here, and tomorrow we will see the change request document, how to prepare a change request document. Suppose there are some projects and in which changes are required very urgently, right? Some changes are there, so you have to work with that, you have to check with that. So in this way, today we have seen the UAT test case scenario, test case script, UAT test case design. Tomorrow we are going to see the change management. Okay, yeah, change request, right? So guys, those who are new to this channel, I suggest them to subscribe my channel, so that you will get the notification. Okay, and I suggest you to watch this video once more time, so that the things will becoming clearer to you. Okay, so guys, today we are stopping this session here only. Tomorrow we will see with some new topic. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for attending the webinar. Thank you.